Good morning. My name is Mohit Nagpal and I am from Bennett University and I'm here to talk about single bit parity check and Hamming distance. It is the error detection in the data link layer which comes in the topic of networks. So let's start. Basically it's an error detection methods. There are a lot of error detection methods like CRC, checksum, and this is one of them. So what are these error detection methods used for? Suppose there is a message and the message is sent from the senders to the receivers. But how does the receiver know that the message is correct or not? If there is any loss of data or not? So this error detection method is used to help the receiver to know if the message sent from the sender is correct, is totally fine without any errors or not. I will be talking about the single parity check here. Single parity check or the parity check method is very simple method. It is much less expensive than the methods where a lot of redundant bits are used. The methods like CRC, checksum, they need a lot of redundant bits. Redundant bits means the extra bits that are used to check the error. So in this parity check, we don't need a lot of redundant bits. We just need a single bit to check if there's an error or not. So it is a much less expensive method in terms of the redundant bits. Another thing is that this error detection method is only used to check the media where small errors does not matter, like audio and video. It for messages like text file and where small errors matters a lot which makes a lot of difference. There we cannot use a single parity check. So let us discuss this method. What happens is there are m plus 1 bits. So what is the meaning of m plus 1 bits? M bits is the message bits. So the total message is the number of bits for that message is known as the message bits. There is one extra bit for the parity checks. With the help of this extra bit, we can help to check if that the message is without error or not. So there are two types of parities: even parity and odd parity. Now in this video, we'll be seeing the even parity system. All right. So what is the meaning of even parity? Suppose there is a message. All right, and we have to check the error. In even parity, what we do is we count the number of ones, and the number of ones should be even. If the number of ones is even, it means there is no error. And if it is not even, the sender should make it even and send it to the receiver's end. If receiver end sees that the message is even, it means there is no error in the message. So I'll explain it with an example. Suppose there is a message 1010. Now there's a parity bit as well. All right. This one extra bit we added is not the parity check bit, and this is here. Or we add this to the message. Now let us count the number of ones in this message. There are two ones in this message, which means the message is an even parity. All right. So what we do is, let me increase the brightness. So what we do is, it means that it is an even parity. All right. So when the receiver receives the message, it checks if the message is even or not. Yes, the message is even. The parity bit is 0. And why did we put 0 here? Because already the message was even. So no need to make the message even. That is why we made that no need to add a 1 here. All right. So that is why we put a 0 here, and when the receiver receives this message, it checks for the even parity, and yes, there is an even parity. So it means there is no error in it. All right. Let's take another example. The next message is 1110. Now the number of ones are 3, and 3 is an odd number. So we have to make it an even number. So we add a 1 check parity bit. All right. So now the number of ones are 4, which means it's an even number. So when the receivers receive this message, it checks for the even number. And if the message is an even number, if the number of ones are even, it means the message is correct without any errors. But there is a drawback for this system in this method. How? Let's take a few cases and we'll get to know. So if the message is, let us suppose there's a message 1110 and with a parity bit check 1. So if the sender sends this message, and what happens if there's an error in the way, or there's a noise, there's a disturbance, and we lost a bit here. You see, we are losing a bit, and this receiver receives this message. So what happens is it checks for the even parity. Even checking for the even parity means there should be even number of ones. Are there even number of ones? No, there are 3 ones, which means there is an error. All right. So receivers know that there is an error out there. Now let us take another case. So what happens here is a message, the same message is sent, 1110 with a parity check of 0. And suppose we lost 2 bits here. All right. We have lost 2 bits here. There was 1 1, now there's 0 0 at the receiver's end. We have lost 2 bits here. But when we add up the number of ones in the receiver's end, there are 2 ones, which means the parity is still even, but and it also means that there is no error. But isn't there any error? Yes, there is. The number was 111, the message was 1110, but now the message received is 0010, which means there is an error, but we are not able to get that error. We are not able to see, we are not able to get where the error is. So and and the receiver won't be able to make it out that if there is an error or not. And so there's a drawback. It only works with single bit errors. What is the meaning of single bit errors? If there is only one error, 1 bit error, then only it works fine. But in this case, it's not working well. Let's take another case. Suppose the message was the same message, 1110 with the parity check 1. Now suppose we have lost 3 bits. You see, we are losing 3 bits here. We have lost 3 bits, 00001. But if we check the even parity, no, it is not the even parity, which means there is an error. So in this case, when there are odd number of errors means there are 3 errors, right? There are 3 errors, right? So there are odd numbers of errors. Now it is working fine. So what is the conclusion of this? It works fine. This works fine for the single bit errors, but does not work fine for 2-bit errors. And also it works fine for 3-bit error or odd number of errors. You got that? The another thing is you can only detect the error. You can only detect if there is an error or not. You cannot find the error or you cannot correct the error. All right. So this method is only for error detection, not correcting the error or debugging system. Nothing like that. It is used for only detection, error detection. Another thing we are looking into is the Hamming distance. So what is Hamming distance? I'll explain you in a while. Suppose this is the message. All right. All this message is coming along with a parity check bit. So 0000 and 0 is added because it is an already a even parity. 0001, which is an odd parity. So 1 is added to make it even. So when the receivers receive this message, it knows it is an even parity. Like this, all these messages have a parity check. Let's check for this one, 2 ones, which means it's an even parity. So no need to add a 1 here, which will make it odd otherwise. So what we do is we do the XOR operation on these messages. We do the XOR operations between them to find the minimum number, to find the number of ones. All right, I'll explain you right here. So let's take this case, 0000 with a parity check of 0 and 0001 with a parity check of 1. So when we do the XOR operation for this, it comes out to be 0001 and 1. So here we count the number of ones. So what are the number of ones here? There are 2 ones. After the XOR operation, we came out with 2 ones. So what is the meaning of 2? I'll explain you later. Let us know there are 2 ones here. All right. Let's just keep this aside and take, there are 2 ones here. Now, these 2 ones, these distance, basically it is a distance, and this will help to know the Hamming distance. We find out later. So let's take another example. We take this one, 0000 and 1101 with a parity check of 1. When we make a XOR operation on these two messages, we'll get the distance is equal to 4. All right, the distance is equal to 4. But do we need, so like every message, every data message, when XOR performed on every and each and every data message, we get different values. But in this whole message, in this whole series of message, we get 2 as the minimum distance, which means there are 2 ones, which are the minimum here after the XOR operations. All right. Here MD is equal to 4. Suppose here MD is equal to suppose 3, or here MD is equal to 4, here 5. I'm assuming, I'm not calculating. But when I have calculated all, we get to know that the minimum distance for this whole series is 2. This minimum distance is the Hamming distance here. So what is the reason of calculating a Hamming distance? This Hamming distance would help to calculate the error detection in this method, in this series. So how we'll calculate the error detection? We'll do the error detection by doing Hamming distance minus 1, which will help to which will make to know that there are this much errors in the series, that we can detect these errors, HD minus 1, the Hamming distance minus 1 errors in the series. So why did we not use the Hamming distance? And why did we do Hamming distance minus 1? There's another question here. Why did we subtracted minus 1 here? Why didn't we directly use the Hamming distance to calculate the error detection? So there's a logic behind it. Suppose this was the message, and we came out that the Hamming distance is 1 here. All right. So when we make lose of 2 messages, all right. Suppose this was the earlier message 0000, and the message when received by the receiver is 1100. So 2 errors are there. All right. So when there are 2 errors, it means 2 digits are changed. All right, 2 errors are there. But will the receiver be able to get that there is an error or not? Let's check. No, it won't. Why? Because there's already a message 11000. You see this message and this message. This message is correct, maybe. All right. And if the receiver receives this message, it won't be able to get if the message is correct or not, because already there is a series and the message is coming already, which means that this would be also be correct. And if this is correct, so there's a difficulty here. So why did we do minimum Hamming distance minus 1? Let's check for that as well. Suppose in this Hamming distance was 2. If we subtract 1, which means 1, and if we change the first, if we change any one digit, and we suppose only one digit is lost, 0000 and 1000. If suppose only one digit is lost here, and if you check in the whole series, there is a no digits, no message similar to this message, which means that the receiver would able to get if there is an error or not. All right, so that's why we do Hamming distance minus 1. So this is it, and thank you. So hope you got it.